There's a lot of questions that came up about the wrapping of the MDV. So Craig asked me to make a little bit of a video. So I've got a MDV right here and some of the tape that I use. So this is what they call monkey tape. It's basically grappler's tape. You can use any tape that you like. I prefer this mainly because after a while what happens is it becomes smoother and I don't like it sticking. So what happens is as you start to use this over and over, it creates a little bit of a smoother finish on top versus having something that has a lot of grip. So because of the way that I carry it and it being in my pocket, I just wanted to make sure that there is more contour to the handle itself when I'm actually wrapping this, but it is not actually catching everything in my pocket, or if it is right behind my belt buckle, it is not getting caught there. So I'm going to take the blade itself here and I will show you how I wrap this up, how I measure everything, and work in. So if you are, just as a safety tip, if you are going to be wrapping this, make sure that you use the sheath itself and locking it. It'll be easier for us to see this with the trainer. Basically, what I'm looking to do when I'm wrapping the handle itself is create some sort of notch directly underneath one or two. So when I'm grabbing this, I measure this out by placing the handle here. All right, so 1 and 2, so I don't wrap my hand all the way in. What I do is kind of like how you hook into a karambit here. I'm rotating this out and locking. So taking this marker here, 1 and 2, I place my fingers and I lock like that, and that's where I want to mark. All right, so do this up. Taking my finger 1 like that. Just mark 1 up, and then down here, same thing. All right, so I'm going to do that there. And mark a little bit there. The idea is to have a little bit of a space underneath that first finger, and then the same thing on top. So when I draw this out, it will actually place these 2 fingers on that side. So when you grab, you're gonna have a good lock there. To secure where that is, I usually take the tape, rotate that out, and wrap. Do it again. And all this is just a placement holder off of those 2 marks. All right, now, when I'm drawing that blade, it'll go like this, okay? So I have 1 and 2 and here, okay? The idea of having the knife skeletonized so that there is no actual handle and you customizing it allows you to do your wrap however you want. For me, what I wanted was to make sure that if I were to hook or I were to grab, I would have something to grip onto. And then anytime that you use it, I'm sure some of you will be cutting other things, maybe steak or whatever. And then as soon as this gets all dirty, you can strip all of this out and then clean this and then re-wrap at any point. Most knives that I've worked with before, like folders or those that come with their own handle, when shit gets inside of it, what happens is it just becomes very, very difficult for you to clean that. So we opted to have a skeletonized version of that, and you can customize that. Once we get to this point here, it's really easy. All we're gonna do is just wrap this straight on top multiple times. I usually do it about 6 or 7 times, so it goes just straight like this until you start to see that start to rise. To create the effect of it going to the side, I start to X on one and then wrapping that there. And then just continue to X that. Once again, this is going to be based off of your preference of how high you want that. So we get about right about there. Okay, so that's a smaller one. What it does is it creates a good grip. Okay, just like that. You'll notice that from side to side, there is pressure there. So what happens is I can grab that almost like a key here, and then you should feel a little bit of more control on your manipulation when you start to rotate that. So looking at the other one, the one that is closer to the blade, I usually make, I wrap that a little bit more. The more you stay centered before you start Xing, the higher that is going to be. And then you're just wrapping that around like that. So once again, it's not too complicated. So that works in. So I just kind of press this all down. And now I have pressure 1 and 2 like that. It rotates in, and it's just a lot easier for me to kind of move that around. All right. You can create more surface area, or you can take a strip, wrap this all the way around. I've seen a lot of guys do that, or strip it all the way down. I prefer this for the ability for me to manipulate the blade. Nothing more. This also allows it so that when it's behind the belt buckle, I can draw this out a lot easier. Flipping the blade around, manipulating this in any type of motion here becomes a lot easier. And once again, the more I use this, the less this is sticky. It just kind of like flattens out. So once again, if you're going to do that with your actual MDV, then make sure that the sheath is on as that is working. Don't want you guys cutting yourself or what have you. So this is the final product. If you guys have any questions, just put the questions in the comments below. Remember, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.